The name our government gave me, David Keith Quigley. I'm doing a live, babes. This man right here that you see was placed by the cabal, organized crime. I'm going to show you how they did it and why they did it and explain. This book was sent to me by someone, and they looked at the photos in this book and they said they believe me 100% now. So if they believe me by looking at this book, I figured I would share this book. Identity theft has taken over. Identity theft has taken over the United States of America and much of this world. And I'm going to share how it's done, why it's done, and why it's done over money and power. And I haven't looked at the pictures in this book except one of me next to the bricks with him. And I was under MK Ultra. They had me stacking bricks for days, and then he showed up. Identity theft is so huge, people. I cannot stress it. It's taken over our country. I can't stress that enough. And it goes all the way to the top. The people at the top, people ask me, does Donald Trump know? Does Bobby know? Robert Kennedy? Yes, they know. They know 100%. And I'm exposing that they know. I wrote a book, Stolen Identity. This book is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Please see the reviews on Amazon, please. But yeah, I have not looked at this book except a couple pictures. And the pictures that I've seen in there are way cool. And I'm going to share that with you. This is the only way I know how to do it is on my phone, people. I'm old school, and I'll do what I got to do. But it's a picture of me and my mother. Now look at my mother's face. Look at her face really well because they use plastic surgery, dental work, and they unalive people and replace people like they did my mother right there in 1975. But you got to pay attention because most people don't pay attention. I learned that a long time ago, but let's start from the beginning. This man sat next to me in class. I believe they said that his folks died in a fire. I was told he was my stepbrother. I never believed that he was my brother, but that's the things they tell you, and that's what they told me. But let's look at this book together, people, and please share my story. I vaguely remember some of the goings on. There was a lot of photo shoots, a lot of people. That is my mom and dad. This right here must have been when I was baptized. Right after my birth, I was baptized into the Catholic Church, and that there is my godparents. By what I believe, anyway. There's some cool photos in this book, though. And there's me as a little kid with my mom. They really, everybody knows what they did to my father there and my uncle. But I'm sharing what they did to my mom. My mom with Caroline. I get a lot of rude and hateful comments that say my mother was a man and all kinds of absurd things like that. My mom was a nudist. Aristotle was a nudist. I was a nudist. There is pictures, if you want to do a little research of my mom on Aristotle Onassis's island naked. You can see her bush, and there's no penis there for you haters and people that just are out there. Anyway, my sister here, she was also taken from me at a young age. Our Secret Service plan ahead. They plan ahead to take whatever they want. That's right. It was a plan to take my father's billions of dollars, my stepfather's billions of dollars, using identity theft. You know, we went to, my father was in World War II, but we went to organized crime for help in World War II. Big mistake. You go to the devil for help. You just don't do it. And they put their foot in the door. I want you to look at that face right there. Look at that pug nose and those big ears, and even my hair color. Not the same child, people. You mothers, I get a lot of support from the women because they can tell what a child looks like then and now. There's another great picture of me. You know, some of these photos I don't remember because I was just too young. Some I do. I was a thumb sucker. With all the trauma I went through, I sucked my thumb, and I even had a blanket. They tried to take my blanket away, and I would get mad. It was my security blanket, like Linus. Look at those earlobes. Earlobes do not change, people. The man you knew on the front cover, his earlobes are attached to his jawline. They don't attach over time. Sorry what people say, it just don't happen. But you take that photo right there and you compare those to George Onassis, because the man you knew as John Kennedy Jr. was placed by organized crime, the mafia. He was placed to help them steal money, and billions of dollars of it. Billionaires don't tell you what they do, but that's one reason why they said his family perished in a fire, because his mother, Maria Callas, his father, Aristotle Onassis, they planned the wedding with Aristotle Onassis, a Greek billionaire, so they could steal his money. Look at that. And I've been asking people to get these photos like this, and do the age progression app. See how I was left-handed? They started slapping my left hand when I would put it out. But yeah, I was definitely a thumb sucker. And I do remember always sitting like that because my feet hurt. Those shoes, I wore so many new pairs of shoes, they hurt my feet. I do remember that. That is me. Take a good look at those earlobes, people, because earlobes do not change. They don't. They don't change at all. Look at the hair color. I know this is black and white, but you can see it's not jet black hair. And you can find pictures of George Onassis when he was young with his black hair. There's a lot of wonderful pictures of me with my dad and my sister. And I've never seen these photos before. I have not. I do remember playing under the desk there, though. I do remember that. My sister, God bless her soul. None of us knew what life would bring. I was definitely, by looking at the photos, a spoiled kid. I probably had just about any toy I ever wanted. I love my mom. I love pulling on my mother's pearls. I don't remember that. I know I had a lot of different animals when I was young, a lot of different puppies, and a lot of the puppies were for photo shoots. I did have a bunny rabbit. I don't remember the bunny rabbit's name, but I do remember the bunny rabbit. And this is all in French Canadian, because this book came from Canada. But I, to this day, believe that these photo ops that were encouraged by the Secret Service were to bring out all the family members and find out who they were. I do believe that. Many children I played with, many children. I had cousins. I do not remember that photo, though. I remember wearing those colorful clothes, but I do not remember that day there. I was just too young, too long ago. This is a wonderful picture book, though. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for sending it to me. I appreciate it very much. Wonderful, wonderful. And I hope they're coming in clear with my phone here, because there's some really good pictures. I did a lot of swimming. Even when I was older, I took lifeguard training courses, and then with the special ops and being under MK Ultra, I got plenty of training in the water. But even under MK Ultra, the training you have will come back. It jogs your memory when things come back. But wonderful, wonderful photos. One of these pool things, I remember some kids stole my clothes. Now here's me. And, the lies have been spread so bad. Look at those big fat ears. Look at that pug nose. But this is in color. Look at that hair color, people. And my red satanic shoes. Now, somebody said I got the nickname Helicopter Head because of this photo right here and the photos of me in the helicopters. I do remember that a little bit, if it was that one or another one, but I do remember looking at all the instruments and everything. You hear these people talk about the fake John, the man that replaced me, and you hear their stories and what they've heard, and they believe it. And one story I heard the other day was they called me Helicopter Head because of this photo. Well, that's not why they called me. If you guys remember the noogie, you get your knuckles and you rub it on a kid's head and you call it a noogie. Well, what this Secret Service agent did to me was, instead of giving me a noogie, he ran his hand over my head and my hair in a circle really, really fast and called it the helicopter. So it was kind of like a helicopter noogie. And that's why they called me Helicopter Head, because they always put their hand on my head and would give me a noogie. And it would just knot up my hair and mess my hair all up. And that's one thing I remember. And, a lot of these photos and stuff jog your memory because it's been so long, and then torture and MK Ultra. But please get photos like this one right here and do an age progression app. Just, there's plenty of technology out there, but the ears and, a lot of people still scream for DNA. Hey, I'm screaming too. We've spent thousands of dollars. We purchased hair from my father, hair samples, the same samples that went into outer space. We paid them thousands of dollars, and they won't even give us the common courtesy of a phone call, an email, or even sharing the results with me, people. It's really sad what they are still trying to cover up. My father taught me how to drink Coca-Cola out of a bottle. I remember that, because When he first handed me a Coke, I would put my whole mouth over the bottle like it was a nipple. And he had to explain, no, you drink it with your lips. You don't just put your whole mouth over the bottle. So my father did teach me how to drink a Coca-Cola. And that's probably a photo op for Coca-Cola. I mean, it's one of the biggest soft drink companies in the world. That it's not good for you. Look at the diabetes rate. I just got back from the doctor a little bit ago, and my diabetes went through the roof. So I'm dealing with that. But I smoke. My father smoked. Maybe that's why it's so hard for me to quit. I don't know what happened to his eye that day, but there's a lot of photos of my father smoking cigars. I love this photo. I absolutely love this photo because it shows you a real kid, me in the day, and I'm holding a cap gun. I love playing with cap guns. Now I don't even think you're allowed to play with cap guns. So it's got a big old bright orange thing on them. And if you posted this picture on social media, they would take it off, trying to harm a child when I was just having fun playing cowboys and Indians. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Look at those big fat ears with the earlobes. Look at my pug nose and my big lips. But look at the hair color. Wonderful book, lots of pictures. I hope my battery in my phone stays going. But yeah, I haven't looked at these, and I tried to read it, some of it, but it's all in French, so I don't know what. I remember this staircase right here. I do remember that staircase. My sister even had my pug nose. The Caroline Kennedy that everybody knows to this day is a fake, is a fraud. She stole, just like George, the son of Aristotle and Maria Callas, stole my identity. The Caroline Kennedy that everybody knows to this day that has been sponging off millions, if not billions, of Kennedy dollars is a fake. They unalived my sister. They unalived my sister. Hello, wake up, people, what they do in our government. I'm trying to get the truth out, doing what I can, because the cabal is running us, people. These people. Look at that hair color. We had many dogs. It seemed like I had a new dog every week, and it was for photo ops. That's all it was for. I never had a puppy for more than a few weeks. Definitely a photo op there. Look at how cute that puppy is with my sister. Look at that face. I want everybody to look at that child right there and compare them to the Kennedy Caroline from the 70s when she was replaced with another girl, a girl to steal money for the cabal. Love my sister. That looks like a totally different puppy. No, maybe that's the same puppy. But look at those big, fat. That would be a good photo right there of me as a child to use the age app on. It really would. And if anybody wants a photo, I'll take a photo out of the book and send it. And then you can try the age progression out. Let's see what kind of results we can get from so many. Straight up, it's me. Straight up. Compare that photo right there to the man, Mr. Pretty Boy, George Magazine. Compare that photo to the lies you all been told and so many believe that make it so hard for me to get my story out, get the truth out to the world. There's no comparison. I know it because that's me. And I hope I start waking people up to what they're doing, who's really running the show for us. Compare that to the Caroline Kennedy the world knows. There's no comparison, but people just didn't pay attention to the switches that they've made in government. God, I was a spoiled kid. How many kids get to drive a speedboat around? Hair color, ears, facial features, kidnapped, replaced. The age of 10 people kidnapped and replaced all over the Kennedy and Onassis fortunes. And they're still covering up to this day, to this very, very day. My father loved the water. He really, really did. He taught me how to swim. Left-handed, people. I was left-handed as a child. All the photos that you see of me are holding something in my left hand, even sucking my thumb. I guys can't stress it. The Caroline Kennedy that you all know, ambassador to Japan, ambassador to Australia, is not even who she says she is. She was unalived and replaced. And someone else, organized crime, has been making millions and millions and millions of dollars because they replaced her. See that toy plane right there? I've seen this photo before, but not in this book. They asked me to go in my room and get a toy to leave on my father's grave. That was one of my favorite plane to leave on my father's grave. Photo op up on the top. So they didn't want me to put my plane on my father's grave. They took my plane away from me. They gave me a PT-109 to build up the military, to build up my father, to make his story, to make the movie PT-109 a hit, to make it world that little John put a PT-109 on his father's grave. Well, that's what should have went on my father's grave right there. My beloved toy plane that I wanted to give to my father. Spent a lot of time traveling, people. All we did was travel around the world, all over the place. I had many nannies too. I think they're stuck together here. Maybe not. I had many teachers and I can't remember their names. I was tortured not to remember names. But I vaguely remember this nanny here teaching me. Maybe it was my father's secretary or something. I really don't know. She looks a little familiar, but I can't say. It looks like she is probably my father's secretary, I'm guessing. They let me play around with a lot of gadgets. You see the red and white shirt? Colors mean a lot of things. They send a lot of messages to people. They really, really do. I just watched a movie the other day called Colors. It was about the gangs in LA. There's me sitting in my father's chair. They trained me. There's me playing on the damn desk. I never saw that one. I've seen this one in other magazines and stuff. I never saw that one. I was just jumping right up there, probably running all over and dancing all over that table. That's the day you could smoke. Look at the ashtrays on there. Funny how times change. And I don't remember that man. Maybe he was my grandfather, but I don't remember. I wish I did, but I don't. Maybe that was my godfather. I'm not sure. They taught me how to sword fight at a young age, and that just brought that to my memory. I was actually schooled to fence. And the word fence means you get those little swords and you say unguard. But yeah, they all that schooling they gave me to teach me how to sword fight, it just all gone. I do remember that right there. I really, really do. Playing under the desk. Photo op, people. Photo op. Why is it a photo op? Because there was somebody there with a camera taking a picture of me. I met many, many people, and a lot of these people probably knew there was a switch. They probably seen me as a child and realized, hey, when this man hit 10 years old, he's not the same man. But were they afraid to speak out because they'd be unalived? I was taught, and I was taught. I don't even think you could play, they'd have a big red tip on that there. I remember my mother's hat. That one got me banned off of TikTok right there for abuse to children when that's me. That was me being trained and taught at a very young age to be who I am to this day. I love that photo. And I remember very vividly that day, the photo op of that day. Me and my father, we was walking back to the White House. We're going to make some noise. We're going to get justice for all the injustice, for all the murders, for all the murders of what they have done and got away with. It's people in our government that unalived my father and my uncle. People in our government, because they saw all those billions of dollars. They saw the billions of dollars of the Kennedy family. They saw the billions of dollars in the Aristotle Onassis family, and they put them all together so they could have it all. All our government has to do is follow the money trails all around the world of where it was all passed out to, and that's the cabal. Because it wasn't passed out to me. It was passed out to people like Donald Trump, straight up. That was the day of my famous salute. Now, this picture right here was a photo op. My uncle, right there. See his hand right here? He nudged me. It was a photo op that was pre-planned. They had me in my bedroom for hours teaching me how to do a salute. And I was told I would get a nudge in the back when it was time to do that salute. Photo op, people, photo op. Take a good look at that. That's one of the most popular photos of me right there. And it was a photo op. And I want you all to take a deep, deep thought when you see Donald Trump with his fist up after his so-called assassination attempt in the air. And I want you to realize our Secret Service is the best protectors in the world. They would have never, ever in a million years let that man stand up and do that, ever, with an active shooter, ever. So that tells me 100% Donald Trump standing up with his arm in the air was a photo op, people. That means the whole thing was staged. That means the assassination attempt was staged. Now, was it fake? Probably not. Did people die? More than likely. But they don't care. It's all over the power. And they wanted Donald Trump all over the news. Now, these magazines have a lot of pictures of me, but when they did the switch, they stopped sharing. When they had us grow our hair, I remember learning how to ski when I was young, too. I don't remember that, but I do remember doing the snowplow, falling down a lot in the snow. But I don't remember that. I'm trying to remember as I'm looking at it. And I'm thinking that might have been one of the Secret Service agents that was put on my protection detail. Now, this photo doesn't even look like me. It really don't to me. It doesn't look like me to me. Man, it was cold that day. I remember being in the snow, being taught how to ski, falling down over and over and over and over again. See the many different puppies they did with their photo ops. I've showed a couple so far in this book. And I don't remember that one either. There was so many, and there was a puppy every week, it seemed like. Photo ops. And I remember that day very well. I called her Queen Mother. Take a good look at that child right there. Big fat nose, big earlobes. But I called, and look at the hair color too, but I called her Queen Mother. And that was in the courtyard. And they would have people meet in the courtyard like that so they could do security checks. And there's another picture of me. They even told me one time for a photo op to go punch a kid in the nose. And it came so common of other people telling me what to do. It was just very common. I believe Ted Kennedy, I just read this comment, I do believe Ted Kennedy was switched. And I believe that Ted Kennedy, the whole world knew, brought many Kennedys to the death because the Kennedys looked up to Ted like the boss of the family. And he brought the others to their demise. I was probably going, where's my toy plane? That's me and my mom. But look at how they started growing out my hair. I think we might be getting to, that's the yacht that I lived on for a while. I was on that yacht for so long. When I got off, I could hardly walk. I was on there for so long. Here's a bunch of little pictures. I was actually at their wedding. Aristotle Onassis, a Greek billionaire. Look at the pug nose. It's telling me I was doing something funny with my phone. I remember that bicycle. That was me. But see, now they're starting to grow the hair out longer. That's Central Park. I had a bike with a banana seat. Central Park. Secret Service helped us walk across the street one day. I was brought there just for this photo op. There's one of my mother sitting on a car reading a book. She wouldn't talk to me. That might be the fake Jackie. Dark, big sunglasses. I'm not sure. I was taught at a very young age. I even knew John Wayne, Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood. They wanted me to be a movie star. Now you can see the hair start growing over the ears because they were planning the switch between me and George Onassis. It's all planned. They plan it. They probably have books on what they're going to be doing. That doesn't look like me either. It just doesn't. That one kind of does. Oh, here we go. You know, I said that the hair started growing over the ears, so they couldn't identify us. It took them time. I'm shaking. Sorry. It took them time to start growing the hair, and that doesn't look like me. That looks like the fake one there. What happened to the ears, people? They got covered up. The switch is on. The ears got covered up right there. The switch is on. They pulled the wool over the world's eyes. Grow the hair long over the ears. Nobody will know. Out of the spotlight for a long time. Oh, I've never seen these before. This is the day. Look at the hair over the ears. See the hair over the ears? This is the day. See the fake Caroline? That is the fake Caroline Kennedy. And that day, right there on that boat, Caroline was talking to me, and she said, and that's me, and that's the fake one, and that's the fake Caroline right there. I never saw that before, but I've mentioned it in my videos. That is the day Caroline said she didn't want to see me anymore because they were planning to kill me and unalive me. Wow. I'm going to have to take a picture of that because that just brought back many memories. They sent me back to the Quigleys. Then they came back and got me, and they were like, come on, we got to go talk to Aristotle. And I was like, no, they said they're going to unalive me. But that's another photo of me as a child with the fake Caroline and the fake George Onassis. The switch was on right there, but Caroline said that day she didn't want to see me anymore because they were going to unalive me. Crazy. Nice photo, though. Look at the hair start growing back. There's mud all over somebody's face there. Look at the hair, how they hid the ears, though. See how they hid the ears? It was all a plan by the Secret Service telling everybody what to do, how to dress, everything else. Wow. Me and the fake. I do remember that puppy right there, though. Just another one. But I do remember. And that's me. Look at how goofy I look. That's me. I was goofy. That is 100% me right there. If you see how goofy I was, you look at those little childhood photos of me running with my fist in the air. That's me. Anyway, people, please share my videos. Please share my stories. I wrote a book. Let's make this book number 1, Stolen Identity. It's on Amazon. Unveiling the Real John Kennedy Jr. by John Kennedy Jr. And I gotta go take a leak, people. So we'll do this. And that was only half. That was only half. God bless you all. This man right here stole my identity. They fooled the whole world into thinking he was the real son of our president when he wasn't. But thanks again for joining. Please share this live, and God bless you all so very much. Keep sharing. I know they keep taking people down off the internet for sharing and holding up my book. Don't give up, please. Let's get this out. Let's get it out, world. And once again, God bless you all, and thank you so much. Peace.